There are many different ways in which we can clear energy depending on the energy we are trying to clear and the anchor this energy is using within us to be able to exist in our energy field. Step number one of energy clearing, you need to come to your center, be fully in the present moment, be fully in your physical body, and then you do step number two, which is identify the type of energy you are trying to clear. Is this an entity? Is it a ghost, a demon? Are we carrying the emotions of another person? Or is it a mental thought, the one we are trying to clear? Is this a past life clearing? Is this an ancestral clearing? Is this magic? What exactly are you trying to clear? And then step 3 and 4 can vary. A good practice is first check with the inner child to make sure that this part of you is okay in general. It's okay and will not interfere with the energy clearing. Sometimes the energy we are trying to clear is anchored in that inner child. And so checking first with the inner child will help us to identify that anchor. However, sometimes the inner child might not present itself to you and might not be involved in the energy clearing, which again, by doing the inner child checking, you should know. It will be like, no, it's not me. And then you know that you can just leave him or her playing happy in peace with whatever he or she is doing. And then you go to step 4, which is identify the anchor. Where is this energy you are trying to clear anchored? Is this anchored in the past? In a past life? And if it's not anchored in the inner child, then the past we are looking for is past. Before your current incarnation, meaning in a past life. Is it anchored in a promise you made to another person, to yourself? Is it a contract that you signed or agree upon before you incarnated, or probably during your current life? Is this a feeling, an emotion, something that happened to you before it became traumatic and then you carry that energy on into this life? Is this something related to your family? Something your ancestor promised and included you in that promise? Is this part of your lineage? Lineage might be something your grandfather or your father passed on to you. And ancestral, I see it more to really ancestors, like 100 years back, 2,000 years back. That's how I understand the difference between those two. Is it some magic that somebody else put a spell on you, or a curse? Or you put a curse on somebody else and that energy carry on into this life? So after you have identified the anchor, you move to the step 5, that is to identify the benefit you are getting from this energy. How do you need this energy? How is this energy supporting you? If it's here now, a part of you called on it for help. What type of help? That's what we are trying to find out in step 5. Are you afraid of something and you need extra support, and that's why you are calling on these energies? Are you trying to hide from the world? Are you really angry? What's the benefit? How is this low vibration energy helping you? Once we have done all that work, that by the way, I am saying this in, maybe 5-6 minutes, doing all of that might take up to an hour, 40 minutes, half an hour, depends. We need to get the details. We need to get it very clear. As the practitioner or the person clearing, and the client, in this case, I'm thinking you are the client, but if you are a practitioner or you want to clear your own energy, still you need to take enough time to do all of these steps, to follow them. So if we are in a session, in an energy clearing session, and I am helping you clear the energy, it's not me the only one who needs to ground. I need to help you ground too. I need to make sure that your inner child is okay. After step 5, step 6, we clear the energy. We start to talk with whoever we need to talk, whether it's your inner child, your past life, your current self. We also need to ask your spirit guides to come and help us, your consciousness. Then when we have done all of that, we are going to make sure we call in your spirit guides, the beings that love you and me unconditionally, and they are willing to help us release this energy. Sometimes the energy is released back to source consciousness so that they can be reabsorbed, reintegrated into that consciousness and come back as loving, compassionate energies. Sometimes the energy is not ready for integration because entities and other energies also have their own process, also are in an evolution path, but just in a different way, a little bit different from us. So when the energy is not ready to be reabsorbed, it needs to be relocated. It needs to be moved somewhere else, assigned for some other person that needs the energy. Sometimes it needs to go back into the earth. We will only know that once we start the clearing process. So to start the clearing process, we need to call into these loving, unconditionally loving energies. We need to ask for their help and their assistance, and we need to ask them to guide us. Sometimes it's not only spirit guides who are involved, sometimes it's also your own self, your highest self, your consciousness. Sometimes it's the universe itself. But the important part is that we call in this energy and we ask them to show us, to help us clear this energy. We ask them to tell us what do we need to do to be able to clear this energy. And this varies depending again on all of the factors that we already mentioned, the energy that we are clearing. And sometimes this process of energy clearing requires us to start talking with your different aspects. We need to talk with your past life, we need to talk with the entity we're trying to clear, and after we have spoken to all of these different aspects and the spirit guides or the unconditionally loving energy has told us what to do and we feel a change in the process, then we give thanks to everyone involved. We integrate the new energy. Now that the heaviness has gone, we have free space. So we call in what needs to replenish, what needs to come in to help us support our current development, our growth. We take then the time to integrate that beautiful loving energy. Probably sometimes we need to bring back an aspect of us, and once that's done, we give thanks to the spirit guides. We even give thanks to the energy we have just cleared. Then we close the circle, and there you have it. That's how you clear energy, or one way at least. If you find yourself in need of an energy clearing, just drop me a line and I will be happy to help you. You can also try this on your own if you have your own practice and see how it goes. We all have the capacity to clear our own energy, and actually I think is something we should all do. And this process is when we're trying to clear heavy energy, heavy emotions. But I will say it's a good practice that every night before going to bed, we do some sort of energy clearing where we disconnect the cords that were formed with other people throughout the day, where we clear our thoughts and our head. And I think this is from person to person, depending on the system that you have and your sensibility to energy. Sometimes it's also useful to clear energy first thing in the morning, because again, depending on who you are and how sensitive you are to energy, at night our defenses are a little bit down, and so it's easier for other energies to come in while we sleep, and they are not always necessarily bad, but they can interfere with some of the system functions. So in the morning, ground yourself, release whatever came in during the night and it's not in your highest good, it's not on your benefit, and off you go. Sometimes we also need to do quick energy clearings throughout the day, right? Especially if we have meetings. Sometimes emotions run high during meetings, so it would be nice to clear your energy after the meeting, especially if you feel really drained or tired or super upset. Sometimes after we have been in really crowded places, we also unconsciously connect to the people around us. This you will know as you get to know yourself. Some people have very strong, stable boundaries, and they don't need to clear energy as often as other people like myself do. It also has to do with sensitivity, how sensitive you are or open you are to energy. Some people that are called empaths, they might need to clear the energy more frequently just because they are more open than other people. Their energy field is a little bit more out there. There are so many ways to clear energy. There are so many cases, instances when you need to clear energy. So find what works for you.